I now challenge you to a Krunk Fu Battle Battle!
Now stop! Freeze, there's more to this story. The lowdown of the showdown goes beyond glory. Before their time, and since I was a shorty, this space was reserved only for the B-boys that came to rule. The winners did more than pity the fool. The stakes are high, mistakes go by to win the rice. It's more than being fly.
Krunk Fu Battle Battle. It's a story about Norman Lee, who comes in from outside Sunset Park, Brooklyn, with his mom, who's originally from the area. He comes across a bunch of new friends, falls in love with the most popular girl in school, who's dating, of course, the guy who just challenged him to a dance battle, and he has 30 days to learn this. Madness ensues in forms of hip-hop hilarity, and yeah.
When I was growing up in Seattle, I went to a school that was predominantly white. Somehow I was already cast to be like quiet, but I think I had something to express. And so it wasn't until when I was in second grade there was this Halloween play, and this is very ironic because I had to play a ghost, which means they put a white sheet over me, and so only under this white sheet for the first time could I have this like booming voice. And then afterwards everyone was like, oh, who played the ghost? Who had that loud voice? And then people were like, oh, that was Joyce. And then I was like, what? That was Joyce? Oh my God. You know, what it taught me was that theater or the stage was a place where I could be actually loud, or I could voice my full voice. So at least I had somewhere I could express myself, although it was under the guise of having to play a character, which was usually a white character. When I was in college and high school, there were no opportunities for me to be in a play that was written by Asian Americans with Asian American characters. I mean, I was in this multicultural theater project. I wrote the stuff, but there wasn't actually a musical or a play. And I mean, like, who doesn't love a musical?
Aren't you Cindy?
Aren't you the new kid?
Theater is something that I've been doing for ever. Like, I was in my first show when I was 10 years old, and it was very difficult for me to get cast in shows. I mean, I would always be in the chorus or as a dancer or something like that. And when I did get lead parts, there was always a weird sort of tension because everyone else was white, and if they're supposed to be my family, it was something that was sort of not addressed, or I was whitewashed.
There's a lot of things that I don't get to see, where I don't see loving Asian Am couples. I don't get to see strong Asian American leads, male or female.
Well, I think it's just still hard. Like, even if I'm on these casting websites like San Francisco Casting and LA Casting, and still a lot of them, when they ask for Asian women, it's sort of ridiculous, sexualized thing, or prostitute.
There's a lack of understanding of the background of somebody who's ethnically a little different, and how their narrative is going to be so different than, say, a mainstream white one.
I guess when I first saw Krunk Fu Battle Battle at East West Players, there was just something like so exciting about the music and seeing Asian bodies like powerfully moving on stage. It's just exciting. Like, you can't not viscerally be excited by that kind of full-on expression. And so there was so much pride. Like, I think anytime I see Asian Americans performing on stage, especially that they do it well, it's still kind of a very visceral thing that you see your people performing, and there is a sense of recognition, kind of connected to something that, you know, everyone should be entitled to have, which is to be proud of where they come from. And then particularly when you come from a minority group, you don't have as many opportunities for that growing up, so then it kind of means more.
Let's do this!
B-boy and B-girl, come on, let's
I realized that this is the most men I've ever had to direct. And now here at Krunk Fu Battle Battle, it's a very boy kind of script. And then there was part of me that was like, should I really direct it? Or is it bad that I'm giving lines to Sualia, the DJ, or I'm trying to give more to the women? Is that sort of undoing the original boy spirit of the play? Or that I'm judging certain things, you know, like from a feminist perspective and wanting to change them? I didn't really realize until we started the project how male the whole breaking culture is and dynamics in the rehearsal, meaning that I have to kind of integrate more of that energy in myself. It's challenging me to come into my own authority or to find my authority and not trying to act like a dude, but how do I find in myself that part of me, and then how do I express my authority in a way that I can hold the space.
She has a way of conducting herself during the rehearsal process that no other director I've ever worked with has in the past. I mean, she wouldn't move me around and place me somewhere. She lets it happen. She lets the actor decide for his or herself.
She understands what it means to struggle. I think she knows how to do it in a nurturing way so that you're doing your own voice. She's just very much find your process, and in that way you find a strength for it. And I think that's what she was doing for everybody on cast. To be part of Krunk Fu is supporting the different voices, and you need to keep having all those different voices in order to humanize APIA identity and people.
I really loved the opportunity that I had with this show to actually be Asian. And not only that, like, I was able to be mixed. Even though I was acting, I was able to be more myself. It was so exhilarating to say, like, yes, this is who I am. I'm not going to pretend that my eyes don't look like this. And I just wish that there were more productions out there that allow that sort of flexibility.
The sacrifices you put forth for other people in order to be where you are, by that personal relationship, you transform a community. And I think that's kind of like, it speaks to our struggle, and in that way you change something bigger.
This is for all the independent ladies.